Welcome to the A2V Christmas special with your host, me, Vox.
And also to the A2V Sinsmas special with your host, Alastor.
Did you prepare a gift like I asked?
Fuck no, I did the ugly matching sweater thing, that's more than enough. Plus, I accessorized with some fire hazards on my antlers. Aren't I sweet on you?
Snazzy. I'm just keeping it classy with a pop of mistletoe on my antenna.
Well, keep that far away from me,
Uh-huh.
Well, I got you a little something something, by the way.
Of course you did.
Here. Don't drop it.
I paid a succubus an arm and a leg to get this down here. Left her a great tip, though. If you know what I mean.
Why is it so heavy?
Open it and find out.
Again, fuck no.
Why not?
It's probably a bomb for starters.
Well, I won't pretend I didn't consider it at first, but the truce would protect you from the blast. Probably.
What is it then?
Well, that's a surprise. It's a Christmas miracle these things were preserved by close connection, so open it.
I'll think about it. Some cultures open gifts the day after Christmas, and I wouldn't want to be rude.
All right, but just so you know, the longer you wait, the more disappointed the audience will be when it's finally revealed.
Yes, but what's life without a little suspense,
Fair enough, but just as a side note, are these Christmas songs actually public domain?
Yes, they're the only things that fit into the budget you gave me. Though, they're quite nostalgic, aren't they?
No kidding. You're old enough to be in the public domain yourself!
Ha ha ha! The way you've been going around hell, you're about as public domain as it gets.
Okay, that was pretty good, but also, like, really mean.
Apologies, I don't mean to put a damper on your little belated Christmas spirit.
Speaking of Christmas spirit, it's time to put the special in Christmas special with my pentagram famous eggnog, as featured on Vox Tonight and Vel Magazine.
Day drinking? Oh, how will we differentiate this from the Patreon exclusive episode tonight?
I'm sure you'll think of something. Cinnamon stick?
Oh, yes, please.
I wanted the brandy on the way here with my voltage.
Ew.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is perfect, isn't it? The spices, the decorations, the lights. How could anyone who isn't a heartless monster possibly prefer Sinsmas over the OG?
I believe you've answered your own question. But I do love Christmas in an ironic sense. I miss driving the populous baddie with wall-to-wall holiday songs for 2 months a year, and sometimes July. Plus, it's sort of funny to make reference to such a Christly holiday, considering the circumstances.
I always thought it was cute how you would dress up like a reindeer on Halloween. Makes sense you'd only enjoy such a pure and beautiful holiday, ironically, though.
I have a distilled sense of humor. Another eggnog, bartender.
Is gluttony the sin you're celebrating today?
Oh, well, it's impossible to know for sure. I contain my wrath, and I spent my days in ennui lusting for blood. I'm greedy for fame, a glutton for power, and envious of those who have it more than I. In everything I do it all with pride.
That's a lot of mischief for one day.
Yes, it is. I'm the sinner of all sinners. Almost no one sins the way I do. And the only person in hell who even comes close doesn't even celebrate Sinsmas. It's such a pity. Though it begs the question of what's a shitty narcissistic creep such as yourself would rather break gingerbread cookies and drink eggnog to old Christmas songs rather than indulge in his inner Leviathan.
Well, as you so elegantly pointed out already, my Leviathan is well fed. I genuinely like Christmas. Is that so hard to believe?
Yes, Yes, it is. There's nothing genuine about you at all.
Something warms my cold-blooded heart, or whatever's left of it, when I see the smiling faces of those big, happy families gathered around a Christmas ham, holding hands and gaily singing carols, approved by the lawyers, of course. I can't help swooning with the camera as it pans to the twinkling eyes of the star and his leading lady as they gaze into each other's faces with real warmth, because it's just too fucking hot under the studio lights. Then they look up and realize they're standing under the auspicious twig of mistletoe, which had been called back to 3 times throughout the episode to subconsciously build tension. But not too recently, of course, so that the audience has had a chance to forget the source of their anxiety and be pleasantly surprised by the cathartic release of the big final kiss. It's just perfection.
Okay. So your so-called genuine love of Christmas comes from cheesy, fake TV specials?
Exactly! Ratings are the only thing which pile up like snow in a Californian winter. And there's nothing like the feeling of broadcasting festive slop across America on the biggest ratings feast of the year! We're practically the center of every family's undivided attention as they gather around the TV and sometimes the radio.
So with no family to call your own, you fill your broken cup up with a delusion for the day?
You're so cynical. I had dozens and dozens of family members in Los Angeles.
Ooh, the cult.
Oh, for fuck's sake, it wasn't a cult! Those were some seriously vulnerable people who needed something to believe in and someone strong and charismatic like me to guide them through a very cutthroat industry and to show them the path to true entertainment is paved with giving.
Giving you their husbands, wives, and bank accounts, probably.
Exactly! In just my local chapter alone, close to 50 adoring faces all look to me to satisfy their every need.
And how did their dependency turn out for them in the end?
The details of my gruesome death were greatly exaggerated, and the alleged mass murder-suicide was a total misrepresentation of the truth by the lying and fickle print media industry!
You're positive this wasn't a cult?
You can disagree with my methods all you want, but one thing you can't argue with are my results. All of them! With 1 or 2 notable exceptions, of course. They had a one-way ticket to heaven by the end of things. I practically died for their sins like Jesus Christ on the cross!
What?
It's poetic, in a sense, that I had the movement celebrate Christmas on my own birthday instead of that other fucker's.
It's your birthday today, isn't it?
Don't worry about that. The point is, those people loved me, worshipped me like a god. I was their everything, and, you know, letting someone love you, to trust in you, it's the greatest, purest gift of all.
I knew you were delusional, but this is frankly depraved. If it wasn't a cult, what are you even in hell for?
Oh. Well, that's easy. I'm in hell because I'm bisexual.
What?
I know. It's disgusting.
You're not in hell for being a fruitcake, fish cake.
Well, there was that serial killing thing.
That wasn't the first thing on the fucking list?
Like I said, it was a cutthroat industry. I did what I had to do. You understand.
I don't.
Seriously? I always assumed you killed your way to the top like I did.
That wasn't a path forward for me. You wouldn't understand.
So? Explain it.
You want to talk about racism? On Christmas?
Is there ever really any good day to talk about racism?
Honestly, a fair point, but I don't want to talk about it with you.
Me? Why?
Well, you're not the most racially sensitive person in hell, Vox.
I'm not insensitive. Velvet's black and British, and Valentino is... something.
You seriously don't know the ethnicity of the man you've been not dating for the past 30 years?
I don't see in color, Al. I see in... Technicolor.
Then you ought to be more mindful of these things. Life isn't a Christmas episode of The Real McCoys for everyone. Sometimes it feels as though you drink your own damn Kool-Aid.
The Kool-Aid thing wasn't my cult, but I do get what you're saying.
Ah, it was a cult.
Oh, fuck off! I need a festive fucking smoke break.
All right, I'll line up the advertisements.
And I'll whip us up some peppermint martinis.
I'd like that. Oh, hello! Welcome back. Let's open the lines to our listeners.
Happy Christmas, boss. Yeah, that's right. It takes a lot more than a restraining order to keep Katie Killjoy down.
Hi, Katie. So, what's your question?
No question, just wanted to wish you a very Merry Christmas, Mr. Vox. I'll be waiting for you under the mistletoe.
I'd never, even if I didn't have a business boyfriend and a very serious long-term situationship and wasn't your boss.
I have to go clean up this mess as usual. See you soon, boss. And, tell that washed-up radio demon hi, too. I guess. Bye-bye. Mwah.
I'm right here.
Well, Katie says hi anyway.
Hi, Katie. She sounds a little different over the phone.
Yeah, well, that's pretty common. Hey, another caller!
Oh gosh, I hope I'm doing this right. Is this thing on? Oh my stars, I nearly scared myself to second death. Anyway, hi, Alastor. Rosie here. Oh, I am so glad you are
I'm your
making
mommy.
nice with the other
Didn't she raise you
overlords.
better?
Speaking of, hi, Mr. Vox. It's so nice to finally sort of make your acquaintance. First and foremost, love your style. Alastor, you could take a page from his book in terms of presentation. I'm just saying.
He copies me.
Anyway, it's so nice to see you boys finally playing nice after all these years. Which, speaking of, that brings me to my question. Are you two acquaintances? Maybe something more?
Whoops! Lost connection there.
Heed my warning next time.
Anyway, look, another caller!
Hello? Hello? Is this thing working? Oh! Yes, there we are. Ahem. Hello, A2V podcast. Or vodcast? Whatever.
He makes me call it a vodcast, or he threatens to buy up all my favorite traditional French cafes and feed them to private equity firms.
He's so mean, isn't he?
Who, may I ask, is calling in today?
I am Dr. Baum of Conmine Industries, professional weapons engineer. But of course, everyone's heard of the CEO of VoxTech and the Radio Demon. So good to hear you back on the air, by the way. I don't know how I survived so many nights in the lab without those jazzy tunes to keep me company. Or the scream. Anyways, I called in to say, do you two celebrate the holidays? Personally, I've always enjoyed the tree. Maybe not decorating it or getting it, but after Christmas was over, my family always used to chop the tree for firewood. There was just something about all of us coming together to bask in the warmth. No need to talk or worry about anything other than keeping the fire alive that makes the world feel right. Like, for one night, everything was normal.
I'd also love to chop down and burn a Christmas tree.
And I'd like to pretend that everything was normal.
Of course, we don't really have a lot of trees in Pentagram City, so I usually just burn down an effigy. Things that can't feel good, but in the shape of my enemies. I hope you both have a wonderful time. This is Dr. Bomb, signing out. Why isn't it? I pressed the button. Stupid.
Oh, I almost forgot to say, my favorite tradition is a kiss under the mistletoe.
Culturally mandated sexual harassment.
Aw, don't be like that. Have you ever kissed anyone, Al?
That's a stupid question. Of course I have.
Who? When?
I'll fucking kill them!
You're gonna kill my parents. That's cruel, even for you.
Just your parents? LMAO! Wanna know how many people I've kissed?
You've kissed and told the whole town 7 times over.
Jealous?
Hardly. It's actually quite sad. You're so unsatisfied with everyone you take for a ride.
Not everyone.
Settle down, boy.
Don't tell me to settle down. I've had more than enough of that shit from my father.
Ah, the final piece of our Yuletide puzzle. You have daddy issues.
Shut the fuck up!
What did Daddy Dearest do to you, Hit you?
You're not getting any tragic fucking backstory out of me, you little shit.
I think I've had enough of your alcohol-addled complaining anyway. Do you want my tragic backstory?
Didn't you just say you didn't trust me with it?
Well, that was like 5 eggnogs and 3 peppermint martinis ago.
Go on, then.
Well, where to begin? Life in the Crescent City was like the crescent moon itself, filled with both the most dazzling lights and darkest nights. There were certain freedoms I took full advantage of after the Great War, though I had to stay sharp and devious, as well as truly marvelously charismatic. I didn't benefit from your proximity to whiteness, obviously.
Excuse me? I made my opportunities with my own 2 bloodied hands. I wasn't handed anything just because I'm white. My talent was genuine.
It's not about talent, Vox. I was fucking talented. Far more talented than you, but if I had killed my superiors off, those opportunities would not have been extended to me. I had to bite and scratch and claw for everything I had, so much so that my resentment found an alternative outlet to express itself. One which I became quite fond of. Hell was the very first place my natural talents could finally fully be recognized, where I at last gained the power to take control. But fret not. I'm sure your pile of white douchebags was just as impressive as my own.
Sorry, it just offends me. Because I want you to think that I did it all alone. That I'm talented enough, and savage enough, and bright enough to have climbed to the top without any help, or luck, or privilege.
Oh, sweetheart. You literally never do anything by yourself.
Just because it was shittier for you doesn't mean it wasn't all fucking shit for me too!
Do you want to cuddle?
Yes, please.
I was being sarcastic. Well, you're here. Don't get my sweater wet.
Okay.
Typical white man to make my tragic backstory all about himself.
Hey, this may be a stupid question, but if you have the power to take control of hell, why haven't you?
You're right. That is a stupid question.
One day, I'll unwrap you like a little birthday present, and there'll not be any more secrets.
That reminds me. Happy birthday, Vince.
Hey, Al, look, we're under the mistletoe.
Absolutely fucking not. It doesn't count if it's plastic.
What about the big cathartic kiss? I literally set it up perfectly! 3 callbacks and the payoff!
This isn't one of your silly sitcoms, you delusional little picture box. You are just trying to force some silly fantasy on me to make sense of your many complex and interconnected traumas. And I will not be an actor in your fucked up little escapist pantomime of hetero-Christian normative domesticity.
Oh, that's a shame. I would have given you top billing. Can we at least sing a carol over a Christmas ham?
Alright, fine.
Yay!
I don't know why I give in to you so easily. You put something in that eggnog, didn't you?
Yeah, nutmeg. Oh, what's the matter? Scared you're starting to like me or something?
No.
Hey, asshole! I was so comfortable!
Go back to your chair so we can finish this vodcast. I have many sins to celebrate before we film under the sinfluence.
All right. There's just one last segment to do.
Debasing yourself for monetary gain?
The only person being debased for monetary gain here is you! Basted like a succulent Christmas turkey.
Rosie, come pick me up, I'm scared.
Come on, Al! Do you have any idea how much a project like this costs these days? From the platform fees, advertising, equipment, licensing, accounting, and not to forget Leia.
Who the fuck is Leia?
The taco truck guy? I have commitments to over half a dozen freelancers and employees, and at the very, very bottom of that list is you.
Go fuck yourself.
So if I were you, I'd shove the King of Pride attitude back up your ass for 2 minutes and let me plug the Patreon like a good apostle of greed.
Lucifer is never going up my ass. But fine, I won't stop you from stroking your giant throbbing mammon.
Faithful viewers, this holiday, why not give yourself a subscription to our Ko-fi or Patreon with the link in the description? Or you'll miss out on the exclusive After Dark episode when Alastor finally opens my gift and loves it so much he jumps into my arms and gives me a big sloppy Christmas canoodle.
Eat my ass.
Oh, they'll definitely have to subscribe for that. A huge special thanks to my sugar daddies. Vim, LexiPop398, The Night Queen, Decepticon, Azazaza, and Mystery Box Studios! As well as to all our slightly less special patrons for your amazing contributions to whatever fucking bullshit is happening here.
And a ginormous apology to Hellish Cadaver, Alice Liddell, Reaper Knight, Alastoria, Wilted Roses, Creepy Girl NC, and Ash Hawthorne. I'm so sorry you've all had to bear witness to Varx's emotionally repressed trauma wrapped in festive daddy issues.
Meet me outside, I swear to fucking God.
Is this absence of a strong paternal figure in your life why you're always trying to get me to spank you? It's all very transparent.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, Rudolph the Red-Headed. Aw, come on! You promised!
I don't remember promising per se.
Just magic up a ham right now. It's not even cooked. Here, let me.
No, hands off. He's just a prop.
Damn. But whatever. Hold my hand. We're gonna sing them out like a proper Christmas special.
What did I do to deserve this, honestly?
The episode is ending. We don't have time to go over your entire fucking life story.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Christmas.
It never snows in this pit bowl.
But with sluts debauching and sinners throtting,
I'll play scream bells on my show.
Your turn, Al.
I'm dreaming of a white Sinsmas.
with every son of man you smite.
May your days be macabre and trite.
And may all your Christmases be bright. And may all the viewers be subscribed.